Hello, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk to you guys about depression. We've heard a lot about clinical depression. Therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists are making a lot of money. Doctors are making a lot of money. This is a big business today. And rightly so, because a lot of people are depressed. Um, I'm not saying that all of us suffer from depression, but there are varying degrees of depression. And um, I could be depressed for a second of my day because I've had a bad day. And I could be depressed because I feel like something didn't go right. But that doesn't make me clinically depressed. But then it has varying degrees, and it gets to a point where I am so depressed that I really need to count on medication, you know? And that's when clinical depression hits. So I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about some of the things that we could do that we don't, some of the things that we could think that we don't, that could really prevent all the expenditure and all those nights spent crying, you know. Okay, let's just talk. Okay, I really don't want to cover incidents where you kind of have moments where someone in your family has died. I don't want to talk about a 34-year-old mom who lost her 2-year-old daughter and then was clinically depressed. I don't want to talk about her because that's a story for another day, and that in and of itself is a very extensive issue. But what I do want to talk about is um, people who get clinically depressed and their life seemingly appears perfect. Like everybody in their life is alive and healthy. Nobody has cancer. They have a full time job. They are healthy, you know, and things look fine. Like they are in no financial burden, but they are still depressed. And reasons for depression could include, okay, I had a bad breakup, in these cases where everything on the surface, it looks normal, but deep down the person is so unhappy that they run into clinical depression. They had a bad breakup, their boyfriend left them, or maybe their daughter doesn't listen and their daughter is doing drugs now, and that's so depressing because the daughter won't listen, and they can see, right before their eyes that their daughter is just not working on herself, and it hurts them, to see that their daughter is not doing what she's supposed to do, and that makes a mom or a dad depressed. um yes. So in cases like these, I really want to talk about what makes a person clinically depressed. Think about it. Where do I get to that point where this is a boundary, this is a wall, and this means, okay, I'm sad. This is the situation is neutral. The situation gets bad. Okay, I get to a point where I try to change the situation. That's not working. And this is a big point. Like, I keep trying to work my way around the situation. I talk to the person involved. I talk to other people involved. Nothing seems to work, right? And then I come here. I give it patience, I give it time, and I tell myself, okay, maybe if I gave it 4 years, this will work. My daughter will eventually be a person who is an improved person. Okay. I put her to a rehab facility, I put her to any kind of a facility, and she still doesn't improve. Right. And then I get to a point where I'm like, okay, yeah, she is not improving. And yeah, it's been 7 years, and wow, I mean, and the doctor says that she only has 3 years to live. And wow, and then that's when I get into depression. Okay, and or maybe my husband is giving me a divorce, and that's when it hits me. That's when the reality of the situation hits me. That things will not be under my control. Things will not be the way I want them to be, right? Things will not be under my control. I will not get what I want from the people. I want it from. I will not get it. I have absolutely no control over this person or this situation. And that's when depression hits. That's when you become so sad you can barely walk, you can barely talk, you can barely get out of your bed. You spend hours and hours in darkness. You get pulled to a doctor or a psychiatrist and they give you medication. And then you're sad and you cry. For what? Because you've been trying to control something that you are not supposed to control. And once you understand that, I kid you not, you can never be depressed. So, a lot of people give labels like, okay, weak willed people are depressed, They didn't have the willpower to not be depressed. I mean, I've been into a same situation. I've had a breakup. I wasn't depressed. Okay, I flunked my exams. I wasn't depressed. That person is emotionally weak and I'm not. It's not that. It's just that you realize something that that person does not. You realize that you cannot control the situation. Better, you realize that you can control the situation and you find a good way to do it and you control it and you win. Both of these areas, the part where you realize it and the part where you don't realize it, both of those are great. Great. If you don't realize it, you've given up control. And if you've given up control, wow, I mean, so you look at other things that are in your control and you move on with your life. And then once you kind of lose your grip on that, things take time and they either work out or they don't, but you're fine anyways because you are in your control. Your mind is in your control, even if the situation is not. Okay. On the other hand, sometimes you do take control. You're like, okay, I am a very strong-headed person. You know what? I'm not gonna let it go. No matter what I have to do, I will, but I will get it. And if you're that strong-headed and that strong-willed, you're gonna do it. You're gonna fucking do it. I'm sorry. I've been trying to not use the F word, but I guess it's just a part of me. All right, you will. Okay, and I apologize to all the viewers. I'm sorry. Okay, that doesn't make me a bad person. And that's part of my agenda, trying to let people understand that somebody who uses this word is not a bad person. Okay, no judgment in this channel. This is a free space. This is a safe space for me to be vulnerable, for you to be vulnerable, and for nobody to be judged. And I'm giving you a lot of love, and I hope I get it back. Coming back to my topic. That's what I think, So depression is people who are trying to control the situation, simply put. And you tell me, is that a healthy thing to do? You think you can control another person? You think you can control your boss? You can't even control your own thoughts. How can you think you can control somebody else? And the day you learn to control your thoughts, you will not feel the need to control any situation outside of you. And then it won't matter. All right, I hope, I'm sorry, I might just be ruining, the bank accounts of doctors and psychiatrists because it's their business. They won't tell you, you know what, I think you shouldn't be such a control freak, no. I think you shouldn't try to control your ex-boyfriend. I think you should be confident. No, they'll say, take this drug twice a day. Visit me again after 15 days. I know life is tough. I know life has been pathetic for you. And you know what? Life is not fair all the time. It's not. It's not fair. It's not going to be fair. But I'm here for you. Just take these medications. My consultation fees is $1,500. Let me have your insurance card and I'll see you again. And the next time, oh, the medicines are doing better. Here, I have one more for you. Now you can only take it once a day. And you know what? I understand. I feel so bad. It's so ironic your boyfriend did it to you. It's ironic that they did. That's what the doctor is going to say. Right? The doctor is not going to say, dude, you're not a victim. Look into the mirror. Look around you. Your life is in your hands. You have the choice to feel powerful. And that's not keeping yourself in an illusion. That's just telling yourself, I don't want to control things like that. I only want to control this, and I want to control this. And as long as this and this is in order, I don't care if other things are not. They're going to be eventually, right? So I hope you leave the tendency. I hope you can understand that you can't control people. And I hope you also see the beauty of it, because you wouldn't like to be controlled by somebody else either. And depression is just a game of control that you think you can play well, and you end up playing it miserably or not playing it at all. I hope you can be in control of your own lives. And ciao.